Hi, James.
Hi.
It was excellent listening to you talk about the post-pandemic scenario for smart buildings, and I wanted to discuss that topic a bit further, linking it to corporate real estate. So now corporate real estate is changing as we know it. Leases are getting shorter, tenancy is evolving. With that in mind, who drives smart building projects now, seeing that real estate is in an upheaval of sorts?
Yeah, right. Absolutely. I think we're definitely going through a kind of transition, weird period, right, of change, right, in this industry. I mean, specifically about office, like other asset classes, like that's sort of a different conversation. But specifically with office, yes, you're right. I think, leases, people are perhaps wanting to renegotiate, and because, of course, this new situation we find ourselves in where we're thinking about how going forward should people be going to work, how often every week, should it be a hybrid model, should we be more flexible, what kind of space does that actually mean, right? Like what kind of spaces should we be providing? Who's driving those decisions? I mean, I think it's the companies, right? Okay, but obviously then the companies that own the real estate, they've got to really listen, and it's not easy, right? Obviously they're making investments 5, 10, 15 years in advance, right? So, we may be left with quite a lot of office space that maybe need to be repurposed or, used differently.
Yeah,
right?
and we come back to the old topic that has always stuck around with smart buildings, which is retrofit, upgrade, right? There's so much existing infrastructure, and there needs to be a path for that to be brought up to smart building standards, smart building codes, and smart building functionality. And that's something that I think we're still trying to piece together and get together.
Absolutely. I think definitely flexibility is key, right? We talked, again, this sort of transition period and trying to work out how we adapt to different working models. I think it's a little bit of a paradox, I think, for smart building technology, right? Because on the one hand, will there be less buildings to apply this technology to? But on the flip side, right, actually, it can be used as a real asset, right? So the office space that's going to be achieve the best rental yield is going to be the real top end Class A, which needs smart building technology. So there's massive opportunities there, right? So it's a little bit of both, I think, for the industry. But we've seen. And we discussed it and things like occupancy, space utilization, occupancy analytics. These are becoming actually, fundamental data points, right? Like if you really want to make smart decisions about how you're using your space, then you really need that data. So for example, you as a company want to make a decision to reduce the amount of space that you have because you don't think you need as much because of this hybrid working model. How are you going to make that decision? You have to have the data. And then you need the system, the occupancy data to do that.
And I think the best thing is we're almost at a stage where the end user, the person who enters these spaces, I think they're ready for it. Because one thing we've seen throughout the pandemic and post-pandemic now is that really diving down and understanding usage and what people are doing in this space and having that information inform how these spaces evolve down the line is just crucial. You can't just be making blind decisions for your employees anymore.
No, exactly. And, again, it brings in, I think, user experience. It's something that smart building technology is ignored for a long time, but I think, that we're now used to having really good user experiences with, apps that we're using in our everyday life. So, I get there is an expectation that we should have that in our commercial buildings as well.
Excellent. Thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome. Thanks a lot.